While the world is distracted by traditional borders, a new front is opening where the maps end. Deep in the freezing north, a silent war for trillions of dollars in resources has begun. This is the battle for the Arctic. For decades, the Arctic was a frozen fortress, inaccessible and ignored. But as the ice retreats, a hidden world is emerging. We're talking about a territory the size of a continent, suddenly up for grabs. This isn't just about climate change, it's about the greatest redistribution of power and wealth in the 21st century. And every global superpower wants their piece of the ice. But why is everyone suddenly willing to risk a third world war over a frozen wasteland? The answer is simple: greed. Beneath this melting crust lies a fortune that defies human imagination. We are talking about 90 billion barrels of oil and a staggering 1.7 trillion cubic feet of natural gas. That's nearly a quarter of the world's remaining undiscovered energy. But it's not just about fossil fuels. The Arctic is the new home of the Green Revolution's dirty secret: rare earth minerals. Without the cobalt, lithium, and nickel buried here, your smartphone, your electric car, and the very satellites watching this planet wouldn't exist. However, extracting this wealth is a technological nightmare. We are seeing a new gold rush where the shovels are multi-billion-dollar nuclear platforms and the miners are AI-driven robots. Companies like Gazprom and ExxonMobil are deploying technology that can withstand temperatures where steel snaps like glass. But as they drill, they are opening a door that can't be closed. This wealth has created a new global shortcut: the Northern Sea Route. For centuries, ships had to crawl through the Suez Canal, a narrow bottleneck prone to pirates and delays. Now, the melting ice has opened a highway that saves 40% in travel time between Asia and Europe. Russia calls this their Suez of the North, and they are already charging tolls to every ship that passes. But the biggest surprise isn't Russia, it's China. Despite being thousands of miles away, Beijing has declared itself a near-Arctic state. They are building the Polar Silk Road, a massive infrastructure project of deep-water ports and undersea cables. China isn't looking for a fight. They are looking for a monopoly. They want to control the flow of goods in a world where the North Pole is the new center of global trade. The geopolitical map is being redrawn in real time, and for the first time in history, the compass of power is pointing straight north. But the battle for the Arctic isn't just about what we can see on the surface. While the world watches ships and missiles, a silent, invisible war is being fought in the dark depths of the ocean. Thousands of feet below the ice lies a network of fiber optic cables, the digital nervous system of our modern world. These cables carry everything from your bank transfers to top-secret military intelligence. Both China and Russia have been developing specialized ghost submersibles, designed not to sink ships, but to tap into or even cut these vital lines. In a world where information is power, the one who controls the Arctic seabed controls the global flow of data. If these cables were severed, entire economies would collapse in seconds, and the North Pole is the perfect place to hide the evidence of such a sabotage. To protect these invisible assets, we are seeing the rise of a new kind of warrior. These are elite Arctic units, training in conditions that would kill an ordinary person in minutes. They operate in 24-hour darkness, where the wind chill makes steel as brittle as glass, and electronics simply freeze to death. We are talking about soldiers equipped with heated exoskeletons and AI-driven drones that can navigate through blinding whiteouts. These warriors spend months in isolation, living in underground bunkers carved directly into the permafrost, guarding the silent frontiers of their nations. This is a psychological war as much as a physical one. Living in total darkness for half the year, separated from the world by thousands of miles of ice, changes a person. But even with all this technology, the Arctic remains the ultimate judge. It is a place where nature still has the upper hand, and a single navigation error can lead to a silent death in the ice, where no rescue team will ever find you. This environment is so hostile that it has forced us to invent technologies that seem like science fiction. We are seeing the deployment of nuclear-powered lighthouses that can run for decades without human intervention, and autonomous underwater vehicles that map the shifting ice in real time. Above them, a constellation of low-orbit satellites constantly scans the surface, tracking every ship and every crack in the ice. We are essentially building a space station on Earth, but every new base, every new sensor, and every new drill bit adds heat to a system that is already breaking. The logistics of staying alive here are staggering. Every drop of fuel, every piece of fruit, and every spare part must be flown in or brought by massive icebreakers at a cost that would bankrupt smaller nations. And then, there is the mystery of what is waking up. As the permafrost melts, the Arctic is revealing things that have been hidden for millennia. This isn't just about mammoth tusks or prehistoric remains. Scientists have already discovered ancient zombie viruses, pathogens that have been frozen for over 30,000 years. These viruses are still infectious, and as we build massive mining cities and military bases on top of this melting ground, we might be opening a biological Pandora's box. Think about it. We are digging into soil that hasn't seen the sun since the Stone Age. We are rushing to exploit the North for its minerals and its roots, but we might be accidentally releasing a threat that humanity's immune system has completely forgotten. The melting permafrost is also releasing massive amounts of methane, a greenhouse gas far more potent than carbon dioxide. This creates a terrifying feedback loop. The warmer it gets, the more methane is released, and the faster the ice disappears. We are literally watching the foundation of the Northern Hemisphere dissolve into mud. In towns like Norilsk or Fairbanks, buildings are tilting, pipelines are snapping, and the very ground is becoming a swamp. This isn't just a local problem, it's a global one. The stability of the entire planet's climate depends on the Arctic staying frozen. The race for the Arctic is a race against time, but it's also a race against a nature that is beginning to fight back. We are fighting for control over a territory that might not even exist in a few decades. The winner of this race might find they've inherited a world they can no longer inhabit. As the ice disappears, the map of the world is being redrawn. But the question remains, are we ready for what lies beneath the white?